Hello, Richard and Zach.
Hi, how's it going, guys?
Zach, you are in the US, right?
Yes,
Where specifically? In the East Coast, West Coast?
East Coast. I'm in the Poconos, which is right in the mountains of Pennsylvania between Philly and New York.
I see.
I'll actually be in New York Metro next week. And quick announcement, anyone who's local or semi-local, the Kubernetes community is doing a meet and greet on the 11th. So anyone who's interested, there's some announcements in the New York meetup sub-Slack.
Hmm.
I would go if it wasn't a several-hour flight.
Next time. Next time.
Since you're in Philadelphia, Pirates or Phillies?
Depends on who's winning, right?
Well, I mean, for me, neither.
No,
It's
I
Blue
would say
Jays.
Phillies. Everything Philly related is probably where my loyalties lean at this point, other than the Yankees, because I'm was born and raised in the Bronx,
Yeah.
like 15 minutes away from Yankee Stadium, so I have to rep the Yankees. But everything else at this point, go Birds.
Well, I've very much enjoyed the Jays handing it to the Yankees in the postseason.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy the
So
end of the
as I've been sort
postseason.
of making my way through all the documentation and stuff, trying to get onboarded here, I'm curious. There were some suggestions of me starting with some of the Nginx conversations. I'm curious if there's a specific issue number and who has been assigned that can of worms.
I don't believe anyone's been assigned, and if there is an issue number, I'm not aware of it. But
Okay,
I think what we could do is uh, maybe a good starting point is to develop like a problem statement for you to
sure.
sort of tackle. If indeed we know what the problem is. Like effectively, we want to improve our documentation situation around what exists for in, uh, Ingress Engine X and like how we position ourselves given that that's kind of going away. So I guess the first point is working out where we talk about Ingress Engine X, um, collating that information together, and then I think Ingate was also deprecated, so that's no good. So then it's a matter of picking one and talking about that instead, right? Um,
Got it. So let me start by documenting just like what exactly we have in the docs section as it relates to Ingress. We'll talk about Nginx and any other options that are there, and then we'll talk about the problem statement of them getting deprecated, and then we'll bring that to the community and see what people's thoughts are on how to best move forward from there.
yeah, I think specifically any references to Ingress Engine X, the project, that like
Hmm.
Ingress generally, that's not going anywhere for us, and we'll still support it.
Sure.
But anywhere that the specific Ingress Engine X project is mentioned, like we can start with sort of collating mentions of that, and then going ahead and making a plan afterwards.
I mean,
Great.
we could link to the Kubernetes docs as a list of providers as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good start for sort of like what we can recommend to other people. I think we need to pick one because we
Yeah,
have like an Ingress Engine X doc for like how to get started with cert-manager, and picking one to replace that would be good, just as an onboarding thing.
yeah. The problem is that without that one, there's no clear winner as the default anymore. I guess the ones that spring to mind are like Traffic or Haproxy.
Both good. I think we've talked before about potentially using Project Contour because we depend on it in our end-to-end tests, so we could use that
I
as a
mean,
replacement for
as long as they all implement Ingress, we could even have one of those things in our docs as like, here's how you install each of these with a little tab. Because it
yeah.
should just be a Helm install command for each of these providers.
Yeah.
And we can go, here's three options that are sane. For more options, see this giant list.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah. First step, find out where we talk about Ingress Engine X because that definitely we don't want to be recommending it or anything like it.
Hmm.
And then the next step beyond that is to say, hey, what do we actually do with this massive tutorial that we have that talks about specifically Ingress Engine X?
Yeah, yeah. So I see it as like a three step process, right? Step one is identifying where all Nginx lays inside of our documentation, and then step two would be for us to sort of formulate a problem statement around the deprecation and how we rely on it within the project, and then step three will be us collectively talking through the options and how we want to present them in documentation moving forward.
That sounds like a good plan. Basically, this ties in as well to this announcement that Mael wrote that sort of describes the problem of Ingress Nginx specifically going away. So that might be useful as well.
Awesome, thank you.
No worries. Suppose that discussion was kind of just a random off the books thing. I said at the beginning, before a couple of you joined, I might have to leave early for family reasons. So if someone else wants to take the reins, like um, go ahead. Or maybe we don't actually need one. That I saw, Adam, you have something on the agenda, right? But there's not loads else.
Yeah, I threw some of the agenda about the new runners we've got access to just because there's a little fluff. You don't get them by default in every project. I just want to show how you use them. Um,
Okay, that sounds worthy of being recorded. So, um, yeah, maybe I'll tell you what. I'll run through the intro spiel. If I have to drop, no big deal. Like someone else can take it on. Like the YouTube audience will have to deal with that. Such that we have a YouTube audience.
our
Um,
loyal fans.
yeah, yeah. Basically, it's every now and then I open YouTube on my telly and see my own face and have a jump scare. That's the way it usually goes. Um, but I will. So I'll have 5 seconds of silence so Mael can find the beginning of the recorded bit, and then I'll just run through the spiel and we'll just launch into Adam's thing, and then to Eric's got a couple more bits. I'll just do a few seconds of silence. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the cert-manager weekly meeting. I nearly said bi-weekly, but it's changed. The weekly meeting, it's Thursday, the 4th of December. We have a pretty light agenda today, but it's going to be super helpful. It's the kind of thing that's worthwhile having recorded. Certainly, I'll benefit from it to be able to look back on what Adam's going to be talking about. First, we have a quick announcement shout out, which is, again, courtesy of Adam. Adam, would you like to uh, give a little detail on this?
Yeah, we had a request for the CNCTL to also release a container image, so it could be run as part of workflows to renew certificates and the like. And since it didn't seem like a huge change when I first looked at it, I implemented it. Um, but yeah, it's now out. The latest release does have CMTTL. It doesn't detect its binary name very well. It thinks it's called V2 when you do like double dash help, but that sounds like a problem for later because it does indeed actually work.
Yeah, it's brilliant, brilliant stuff. I was surprised by how many yaks you ended up having to shave to do it, but that's always the nature of this stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I've got another agenda item out of it, so
There we go. And it's super cool as well. I'm really looking forward to hearing about it. So I suppose we'll jump onto that, which is the CNCF runners. So Adam, take it away.
yeah, I would have prepared better for this, but I had too many meetings. So I will just do very quick overview of what's changed and how this allows you to use runners. So the big thing that's changed is we are now owned by the account, the CNCF account, which means they handle any sort of billing we enqueue. We don't get any billing because we don't use any of the non-free stuff. But if we did, it's now on their tab. But crucially, this allows us to use their runners. So the CNCF have a bunch of runners that were donated by Oracle, um, and they are configured in CNCF/automation. Um, so they've got a bunch of CI GitHub runner, and they've got two flavors. They've got runner VMs and runner pods that run in a Kubernetes cluster. Cluster OCI runners. So you've got VM runners and non-VM runners. So you've got lots of different flavors. Um, you've also got ARM flavors as well if you want to do things on ARM runners. But they all appear in this massive list, which is searchable. So you can search for stuff. Um, One thing to note is these are not by default available to every project. You have to do some configuring. These appear under as a runner group under Shared by Enterprise default. So if you go into that runner group, you'll see all the runners that I just saw under runners and repository access. We can allow all our repositories to do it, but just because I didn't know what it would do, for now it's only shared with selected repository, and that selected repository is CMCTL. But that allows us to use any of these inside our workflows. You can still use the GitHub default ones, but you can also select these. Uh, and the way you would do that is really, really easy. CTL. Isn't there. So we're already selecting Ubuntu latest for majority of our build images. It's literally you select the runner you want, and you can check that's a runner by just searching it here, and it'll find it. There you go. There's a runner called that online. You can see what kind of specs it's got by going to their repo um, and just searching the name. And that is a cluster runner running. You can see it's that's not it. That one. Like the crucial thing I cared about was it's got 50 gigs of storage compared to the 16 gigs that you get by default, which is where we were failing before this. But yeah, we can now use all their runners in our projects, and it just works. So if you want to use this in other projects, you just need to make sure you configure it to be allowed for that project, and then update your GitHub action to use the runner you want. Um, and they've got some quite beefy ones, so I don't know, maybe we could run end tests on their infrastructure instead of Pro. But yeah, all available for us whenever we want.
That's such a cool overview. Thank you so much. Did I see like a Docker and Docker stuff there? I'm wondering if we could like maybe our individual end-to-end tests, like whatever, they run fine on Prowl, but like larger scale end-to-end tests, including multiple sub-projects all in one test. But we
It
don't
does
really have that in
indeed.
the open, right?
It does indeed look like the runners by default run a DIN sidecar and mount the socket into the runner.
Okay. So some risk of being pwned. We should be careful of not having secrets in these things, right? Like if I suppose it's other CNCF projects would be running alongside, but definitely
But
wouldn't.
no, the is it running sidecar to the runner? I mean, you can din your dinned. We can run a Docker and Docker inside our inside our workflow.
Dinned all the way down. But I mean that is it means we could use kind, we could do bigger scale tests and
Yes.
get some confidence about like we've kind of had those internal tests at CyberArk for quite a while where we're installing everything all at once and testing that it all works together. But that's for our own purposes and it doesn't really filter through into the open. There's definitely some open source stuff we can do there that doesn't rely on internal details that we have. That'd be a really cool thing to get
Yeah,
running.
checking the CSI drivers work with every release of cert-manager and things like that.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
value there.
Well, let's just sort of say like, oh, this version of CSI Driver works with this version of cert-manager and it's been tested. And
I'd go for that to say it with every road to cert-manager because our
well,
API is very stable.
yeah, yeah, you'd think, but like, at least having it tested would be a nice thing in the
Yeah.
open.
But yeah, that's all I got. It was just a quick. I just wanted to make sure that people are aware that it's not just enabled by default. There are a couple of steps you have to do, but to use it on any of our projects. But feel free, fill your boots. The CMCTL chap was very nice and he showed up to our stand up yesterday, and he's very willing to help us. His name is Robert Keith. Uh, he's got a pronunciation guide for a moment.
Guilty.
Guilty. Yeah. He's on CNCF Slack, not the Kubernetes Slack, but he was very willing to help us if we had any issues with their runners. So
Fantastic. Sweet. Um, Feels like we're a natural endpoint there. Did anyone else have any questions about the runners?
Really great, Adam. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, okay, next we have some Renovate stuff with Erik's name on it. Do you want to take it away?
Yeah. We talked briefly about this the last meeting. I was here like 2 weeks ago. We finally got the acceptance for running any post-upgrade tasks on the men-hosted Renovate infrastructure, which is really great. So I switched two projects like Makefile modules and the Renovate config repo to use the app instead of the GitHub workflow with using Octo STS. So I think to my experience this is working well. So I would love to migrate everything we have to use the app instead of the workflow, which gives a much better user experience. So I just want to know if there's any objections from anyone doing this.
I think it works pretty well from what I saw. And we also have like a UI for onboarding and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have any objections.
The onboarding still requires a bit more work because I want the onboarding PR to refer to our
Template.
preset, which I haven't managed to fix that yet. I'm not sure what the problem is. It seems to be onboarded with a kind of a default config, which is not perfect. Um, as I say, the user experience will be much better. It might be a bit more noisier because right now the workflow is in Makefile modules we're running once a week, and in the other project it's running every 24 hours. But now with the app we will get the PRs updated more regularly. I don't know on what schedule. It depends on how men run their things, but at least the PRs will be opened pretty quick after a new release is available of a dependency. So that could be it both positive and negative. It depends how you look at it. So if
No.
there's no objections, I will continue with this, and I will also try to look into the onboarding. I will probably not enable it for all projects until I know that the onboarding is working properly, at least. So I will just enable it repo by repo.
No objections. I think it sounds like it's worth a go.
Yep, cool.
Sweet. That's a short and sweet one. Um, the final item that we currently have on the agenda is you again, Erik, around KubeCon EU.
Yeah, I was just wondering whether we have talked about if we're going to do something for KubeCon. Is it a bit early? I feel that we always do this at the last minute. So I was hoping to start some discussions around what are our plans for KubeCon next year. I'll probably be going. I already have submitted a talk together with a Kubernetes maintainer, which I hope will be accepted. Um, we have talked about maybe having something around Trust Manager if we can. I have a bad conscience about the cluster bundle migration. It's a bit halted now that Ashley is back. It should be possible to get it over the finish line. So, but I just have to free some time. I've been quite busy at work, so
No pressure at all. Well,
yeah.
I suppose that's a separate thing. Like, get in touch. But next week is my last week of the year, so if you want it to be in 2025, get in touch soon. But more widely on KubeCon, there was some chatter about this internally from Mael, I think. Richard, did he send you any of that?
Yes, and Mails assigned me a ticket this morning, which is in the community repo. I'll send a link when I find it. And he's assigned. He's asked me to set up the Contrib Fest session and the kiosk. Make a request for a kiosk. So I've done those today. So we'll wait and see what happens.
That's super. As a minimum, we should have a kiosk because that's a place we could meet at least.
Yeah, and the choice was I chose a full-time kiosk, assuming that there'd be enough of us there to keep it occupied.
Yeah.
The Contrib Fest, like before, you can have up to 5 speakers assigned to it. So I've submitted it. So I've put myself as a speaker, and I've invited Mael because he reminded me to do it. But yeah, there's room for 3 more people.
I would love to get a free ticket if I can because I have to pay it myself. So if that's a neat way of getting a ticket to KubeCon, that would be great because I don't have a company behind me. So
You'll get a free ticket. So if you get your talk accepted, that would get you a ticket.
yeah, I should know pretty soon whether the talk I've submitted is accepted or not. So
Yeah. So if that doesn't go through, then we can add your name to the list.
that's great.
The other thing is, I think we need to have. It can be up to 3 male speakers, but as long as you have 1 female speaker on the list, you can have up to 5 speakers on that event. So we could, I don't know, we could see if Urba wants a ticket or something. And
I was just thinking about her. Female alibi.
but she might be going anyway. So
Yeah.
I'll contact her.
I have no idea if I'm going.
Yeah, I'm the same boat.
Yeah.
Well, I got less value out of this last one than I got out of previous ones, I will say. And especially next year, they'll probably want me to go to reInvent next December, which is also a huge, huge drain.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll think about if I want to go. Although I do like seeing all you people and going to nice places.
I was just about to say, I mean, the conference itself didn't represent much value to me in London, but I really had a great week meeting a lot of people, having a lot of fun. So
The place you picked to eat, Ash, got a questioning line from my manager when I expensed it.
I mean, yeah, I can understand why. But I'll see if I can find it on Google Maps. But yeah, I would echo that. Like I got quite a lot because I was on the booth literally for the entire time in London, and it's always really nice to talk to people. I didn't really derive much value from the rest of it because I didn't try. But I'd like to go. But obviously, the main deciding factor for me is going to be whether I can bear to be away from my daughter for a bit. But Vicky has a friend in the Netherlands, so maybe we can 2 birds, 1 stone it. We'll see.
Well, I always used to bring Rose to KubeCon just because we'd book it the entire week and spend some time exploring.
Yeah, that sounds like a nice little time away to me. But
are anyone aware of the deadlines here for like the maintainer track? And now that Richard has asked for a kiosk and a Country Fest, that's kind of taken care of. But if you want to submit something for the maintainer track, there should be a deadline, right?
Yeah, I'll find the link to the site and post it in chat.
Okay. Thank you.
Hemant, what about you? Have you just been to KubeCon in the
Yeah.
States?
Yep. Yeah, it was fun meeting. I met a couple of cert-manager contributors and reviewed a couple of PRs because of that. But yeah, it was fun talking to people. yeah, I didn't learn a lot per se, but yeah, it was fun networking.
Are you planning to come to Amsterdam or
I'm not sure. It's a long flight. And yeah, I'll have to pay for the ticket. I'm pretty sure I can't get it reimbursed. So that's why. I don't
If I can
Hmm.
find a way to get CyberArk to ship me out there, I'd be happy to join you guys in Amsterdam.
know.
I'll probably go to the rejects this year as well, happening the weekend before. I might try to recycle one of my previous attempts to get a talk at KubeCon.
Cool. Um, I think it'll be. Oh, sorry, you've posted about the maintainer track there, right?
Yeah, I think that's got the deadlines on it. Oh, no, has it?
I'm not. I'm seeing there's a submit button. I'm guessing that'll have a deadline on.
I don't
14th
see
of
a
December.
deadline.
14th of December is the deadline for the maintainer track.
14th of December.
Yeah.
Well, that's not far away.
No.
10 days.
I would certainly like. It's been a while now since I've done a talk. It's been over a year. I'd certainly like to do another one at some point, but I don't have anything particularly in mind.
Gotta
Um,
think of a title.
yeah, that's
That's all you really need at the moment, right?
I suppose. Yeah.
Good about
Um,
post-quantum.
but that would be an interesting thing. I don't know if I can make a full talk out of it. Like,
Yeah, it's
look,
just that
look at what these people more intelligent than me are doing. We're just waiting for them to finish, and then we'll do that.
yeah, there'll just be an option for that algorithm.
Yeah. Um,
Um, I don't
but
know what other features we got some we could pick a talk out of the post that Mal did. Cert-managers support gateway going forward.
there's like there's combine all of that stuff into one. You've kind of got a talk there, right? Like you've got the cert manager's future from 2026. Like, there's something there. I
Yeah,
don't know if that's a particularly like I did a similar talk with Jake back in 22, like past, present, and future, and that was accepted at least.
but, well, you guaranteed at least one as a maintainer, aren't you?
Yeah, I think they reserve the right to tell you to go away if it's not right, but I can't see why they would have a problem with that. A
Whirlwind
project
tour of
update.
our yeah, whirlwind tour of our upcoming features.
Yeah, uh, that could work. But maybe we should start a GitHub issue for workshopping some stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could include like the renewal windows and stuff
Mm.
too.
I like the idea of kind of the future of cert-manager to have like a talk explaining what we're working on and what the visions are for the future.
Yeah. Some of the
Yeah, but
show how the sausage is made a little bit.
the
Hmm.
big ticket items for sure. Like we're Cert Manager, we are aware is a pretty feature complete tool, but there are things we are working on. Like ingress to gateway has meant that we want to support this. The post quantum world has meant we want to support this kind of thing.
Mm.
Hmm.
Just decent idea. I'm not sure I'm currently in a state where I can take on owning it, but what I will do is create an issue for high level stuff on the community repo. I'll tag the people that are currently in this call if
Yep.
everyone's interested, and then we can do a bit of brainstorming, like see what happens from there. Like I don't think I can be chasing people for
Actually, that's the
stuff.
only part I can't help with, really, is the brainstorming part of it. But once we have ideas, I'm happy to help run with it as far as like structuring it, organizing it, making it digestible and presentable, the whole nine yards. But being the most junior person here, I'm in no ways qualified to suggest topics. But other than that, once we get a topic locked in and we need help fully baking it, I'm happy to get tagged on that issue as the guy to drive it forward.
Sweet. We've got a test audience ready and waiting to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal.
We have to decide who is actually which names to put on the talk pretty quickly. I'm not sure if we can
Yep, 10
switch
days.
that later on. Do you know, Ashley, if you can kind of replace the speakers?
And the speakers have to be there in person. There's no virtual
Yeah,
dial-in
yeah,
option.
yeah.
So
No,
we got
no,
to make
there's
sure the
no.
people have tickets.
I
You have
could
to be there.
I could
Yeah.
shave and go as Ash.
I I don't know if you're. I feel like I remember something about switching people around once, and I don't think they're really that strict on like this is. They're not checking IDs when you walk into the meeting into the room. I suppose it doesn't matter too much, but I suppose we should bias towards people who know that they're going and definitely wants to be on a stage in front of hundreds of people.
It also
Yeah.
like don't know what my
With
policies allow.
Contrib Fest, you certainly can change the speakers
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
add additional speakers. I don't know about the maintainer track talks though.
I don't know if
You
I'd
can,
put my name down any of this stuff. I don't know what my policy is for speaking. I have not looked into it, and there's quite a deadline. I don't think I'll probably get an answer within it.
hmm.
Okay. Well, starting point, I'll met the issue. I'll ping it to all of yous, and we can at least go from there. Maybe be able to tie this off next week, and then have something submitted at least, and we can always go back to it afterwards after Christmas and tweak it if we need to. So
But who would be interested in hosting a talk? Ashley, obviously you, if you can.
yeah, if if
Uh,
if I'm able to convince Vicky that
yeah.
a trip to Amsterdam is going to be in her interests.
Adam, maybe. Richard, do you have the Conclave Fest, or do you want to
I,
participate on the talk?
I don't know. I could probably help write it, but as presenting it's I don't know what my work's policy is on public speaking.
Okay.
I think Tim will certainly want to go, won't he? Because it's so close to him. So you could,
Be at the train, won't he?
Yeah.
You basically
yeah.
walk.
I could imagine him being up for it, Erik.
I would also imagine, but he's also a returning speaker, so it would probably be good to change a bit. I don't know.
Oh, I see.
But Tim is a good speaker, and it's near where he lives, so he for sure he will be there, I think.
You could talk about your renovate stuff, right? All the automation you've done.
It, no joke. I mean, it's not on like something on the future roadmap, but talking about the work we've done to like automate, make our module tool upgrades and things that we previously had no visibility
Yeah,
on the version SKU. That's definitely something we can talk about.
yeah.
And it's
Okay,
an
let's
issue.
let's brainstorm on the issue, and we certainly land something, and I'm sure we will get that talk if we have something which is nearly sane.
Cool.
Okay, I've pretty much finished with the issue. Just finished with the issue, so I'll put it in chat. Anyone who cares can put stuff on. It's very bare bones, and we'll come back to it. I suppose we need to have a decision made by the next community meeting on a week today.
Yeah.
At the latest, I guess that's when we should submit the actual talk.
Hmm.
And yeah, the rest of the stuff can come afterwards, I suppose. Yeah, and we can do things on the issue. I believe. Well, first of all, I looked up how long it would take Tim to walk to Amsterdam from where he is. Out of interest, it would take him 2 days, but it's only a 2 hour drive, 2.5 hour
What,
drive.
what, what about bike? How keen a cyclist is he?
Apparently, it's 12 hours on bike, according to Google. So,
I mean, I know some nutters that would consider that a holiday.
yeah, there's definitely a type of person that would like that. But in any case, that brings us to the end of the agenda. I am going to have to drop off. Personally, there is probably scope to do some triage party stuff if we want, but I'm going to sign off on the video, which if you watched, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week for I suppose, a festive version of this meeting because we cancelled the week after that already.
We'll be wearing
So
Christmas jumpers.
yeah, may well be. Um, thank you very much, everyone. It doesn't feel right for me not to end the like call there and then, but Mael will cut it. I'm sure.
Maybe.
Maybe I'm just going to leave this bit in and make the end of the video really awkward.
I mean, it gets direct uploads right to YouTube now, so any of us could go in with the credentials and use the studio tools to cut it.
No, the possibilities are endless. But yeah, I'm going to have to drop off, unfortunately. So nice to see you all. Thank you all for joining.
So yeah,
Hey, quick
Um,
question while we still have some more guys here. Do I put in a request to get added as a contributor or something of that nature, or is it once I get my first PR approved, or how does that
we
all
have
work from that
we have a
perspective?
guide. Wait. Cert-manager. We have a guide on the community repo. Uh, I will just find it and put it in chat. I think it's
Awesome.
governance.md. It is governance.md. So let me just whack it in chat. Basically,
Perfect.
share my screen.
Yeah, I pasted it, by the way.
Yep, I got it.
Zoom really doesn't. It really doesn't like that. Um, there we go. Basically, we've got various levels. Um, so our members kind of out there. Member just lets you bypass the OK to test restrictions and stuff like that, and do some basic slash commands. Um, that you just need to have two sponsors that are a reviewer role or higher. Um, that's about it for the requirements. But then we've got
Cool.
like actual like levels for people wanting to progress up to maintainer, and that's reviewer. And like you need to look for a sponsor, but also you have to review one or more PR because you're applying for the reviewer role. You create an issue then with the PRs you reviewed. You name your sponsors. They put a look custom on it. Move up. Then you've got approver. You've been a reviewer for a bit. You apply to be an approver and then maintain it again. You've been approver for a bit. You've contributed some stuff. You put a list of things you've contributed. Get a couple of maintainers to vouch for you, and that's how we get the tree.
Perfect.
That's about it.
Cool. So I think I'm at the first stage where I gotta find a couple sponsors. So if I have any
Yeah,
volunteers.
yeah. I mean, for uh, first one, probably you just do is as a member, where you're just a member of the GitHub org, and that just lets you bypass the OK test and lets you do like slash assign, slash close, slash reopen on issues. Um, so that'll be the first one. Just probably grab two people from CyberArk. They'll vouch for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably get Ashley and Mile
Yeah,
to be my two. Cool. Awesome. That'll be helpful as I try to move forward in these next steps with everything related to the Nginx documentation and finding
yeah.
alternatives.
And you can be at different steps at different repo as well. Like you can get like to reviewer and approval level on one repo. Just if you want to focus on say like a particular project or just the website, we can get perms on one and become a
Cool.
like it depends on what areas you want to focus on.
Yeah, yeah. I think just getting to the membership, the first, step one will be good for now, and then we'll
Yeah,
we'll sort of just take it as it goes from there.
cool.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Uh, well, I got nothing else lined up, so should we call it early? Give you 17 minutes back.
yeah, nothing more from me. I'm happy to finish here.
Well, lovely to see you all. I'll see you next week. And I demand Christmas jumpers. I want to see you all in your Christmas jumpers. Um,
See you then. Bye bye.
see
Bye.
ya.
Bye.